And the most enemies I've gotten, it ain't funny. But I don't really care.
You have enemies, Chris?
Lots of enemies.
You have enemies? For real?
As God. As God. Always 8 o'clock in the morning.
Boy,
Listen.
that stuff is too strong.
20. What's the name of it? What's the thing?
Glenlivet.
Glenlivet. Yeah,
Right.
Glenlivet and
I can't handle this sampling this early in the morning. boy.
Yeah, that's kind of nobody walking.
Single malt Scotch.
All right, there's a big story. The second big story for the morning is the young lady. She was a teenager. Well, still a teenager. I guess she was 15 when it occurred.
Around that age.
Yeah.
She's 17.
She's
now.
17.
It was over a year ago.
Yeah.
So she was 15. She was 15, right? Who's now been charged? So we heard Aaliyah McDowell died on, is it Sunday?
Yeah.
After a battle, for 16 months after the stabbing, being stabbed in the neck. And I don't know, would you say it's surprising? But I mean, it seems a bit strange. Why has somebody now been charged with not with murder, but with assault?
What I find really disturbing with that, again, let's say the girl did not die.
Mhm.
Then she would have just been hospitalized or going to the doctor back and forth, and not one charge would have been laid on anybody.
So why wasn't it laid? Right, we're being told that she can't be charged with murder because it's a year and a day has passed.
Statutory limitations.
Right, but why is she being charged now?
I
mean, we saw I saw the images yesterday. I mean, it's a sad story. You know what I mean? That there's one young lady who's dead, and there's now another young lady who's
Facing serious
facing
repercussions.
serious charges, and not just that, but also has to live with the fallout of somebody dying at her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was self-defense, whether it was premeditated, I guess the court will determine that. But it's a sad situation. Two young girls, one dead, one facing
both having the teens.
considerable time in prison.
I don't think could she? I don't think so.
She
What do
could.
you mean?
How old she is? 17. What
Remember those three ladies? I think they're out now, or at least I think two of them at least are out. Who were, I think it was in Bel Air where they stabbed up another girl.
Yeah.
The other girl died, right?
Yep.
They got 10 years or something like that.
Oh, right.
10 or 8 years or something.
yeah,
I think
It's like
I
a
think-
gang thing, I believe.
Yeah, and I think at least two of them I'd heard have been released recently. I mean, 10 years in prison is a long time.
All I want to know is why this charge? No, what happened in 2024?
From both ends of the stick, because you have to look at it as, let's say, the family of the victim. You're looking for this justice for 16 months,
Right.
and on the other side of it,
You're trying to rebuild your life.
Trying to
You're
rebuild
trying to
my
get
life.
on with life.
and
Deal
now
with the
you
consequences.
Now
of
you
what
come
you've
with this
done.
now.
you just
It's a double
slam me
whammy.
into a wall.
It's a
Yeah,
double
slam
whammy.
me into a wall.
How?
Nobody wins, huh?
Nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
This is
I mean, look, I understand it from the McDowell side. You want what you perceive to be justice for your daughter.
you would. Anybody would.
right?
Anybody
I
would.
fully understand that.
Yeah, anybody
There's nothing they could say or do which would
Alleviate that.
no,
That loss.
which I would condemn. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Because they're feeling away.
Yeah.
You must.
It's human nature, man.
Yeah, you must. But
And here it is.
on the other side now, you know what I mean? You've maybe tried to have come to terms with it over the last 16
you
months.
try to deal with it because you realize you're going down a road.
Right? We saw the mother. We saw some posts from the mother of the young lady who's now being charged, which I mean, a lot of people would deem them to be inappropriate. I mean, I don't think they were advised. I don't think there was good advice to make some of those posts. I would have kept them. kept my
Some of
feelings to
your
myself.
thoughts you got to keep to
Yeah.
yourself.
Facebook.
But now,
Facebook.
if anything, it's almost backfired on the mother.
And it would. And it will put you in a more precarious position. It will put you there.
You would have thought. I don't know.
If you had anything, to
I would
say
have
on
thought
Facebook,
16 months would allow me to take a more kind of
humane approach there.
holistic view of it.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of what happened.
And if you're making a post, it shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
It should not have been that.
It should be more. But as I say, man, maybe if we said it off air, if you feel that your daughter was just defending herself, maybe you'd be less remorseful than. I don't know. It really. I mean, this should have happened months ago.
As in dealing with it.
In terms of dealing, if there were enough charges, you should have laid those charges.
If I don't know I don't
understand why you have to wait until somebody dies before.
How long would you say that here before action is taken?
So we're saying that if she hadn't died, there was no action.
No, but that's my point. If it happened in 2024, nothing. 2025, nothing. The only reason why we're talking about this here today now is because, unfortunately, the girl passed. So if she hadn't died, this was just going.
And it's the presumption then that they either had insufficient evidence or they investigated it and determined that there were no charges to be laid.
Okay, so if you determined in 2024 there were no charges to be laid, but now
I'm trying to determine like why wasn't anything done then? So
right, but I'm saying
an investigation goes on. The police present their evidence to the prosecution services. Prosecution services look at it and say, look, we don't think we have a winnable case here. This looks like maybe it was.
Yep. Right, but then something is somewhere around the look. If you're saying that they didn't have, okay, now let me go with that theory. They say they didn't have a prosecutable thing. Now you bring in the charge of wounding.
So my point would be nothing has changed in that time. Right?
No. But you come up with wounding now. What has changed?
So why now? Why didn't they charge it back
before? Because clearly you had something to charge for. Can you charge for it now?
Yeah, it would suggest that you could have brought.
You could have brought the charges because you make the charge now.
Or we'd investigated it back then, and we determined that there was nothing doing.
So yeah, but would the prosecution be rolling on public emotion? Bring a charge just because the public is upset?
Maybe.
To suffice?
Maybe that's what you have to do to placate the people.
I don't know.
But it would suggest to me that 16 months ago or 12 months ago, whatever it was, they looked at it and determined
there was nothing to talk about.
For whatever reason, that they
didn't want to bring a charge.
They didn't want to bring a charge.
Right. The only thing has changed now
she's died.
is that the girl has died.
No, there's another change.
What?
The government has changed.
Well, I didn't want to go down that road there, but now that you bring it up,
They're the two changes, right?
Think about it.
The victim died, and the government has changed.
What would be the implication of government changing?
A fairy godfather, a fairy godmother,
possibly
fairy god somebody. Because
it doesn't make sense.
It can't.
If the police had did their investigation and determined that, look, we don't think we have a strong enough. Sorry, and they presented to the prosecutors, and the prosecutors said, look, we don't think we have a strong enough case that we think we could secure a conviction. We think maybe the victim was the one that initiated it, and the person that actually inflicted the wound was defending herself. That could be a reasonable assumption by the prosecution, right?
Right, but they didn't do that in 2020.
Sorry, that could be a reasonable assumption by the public in light of no charges were brought. If that isn't the case, if that they determine that it wasn't self-defense, this was premeditated, or this was an aggressive act. The only other difference then would be the government has changed.
Somebody knows somebody in some place. Because what has
I'm not saying that's what it is.
No, we're not saying that.
But it's one of the two, right?
The same way you bring the wounding with intent charge now,
right?
You could have brought it in 2024.
Yeah. If you determined at the time the evidence that the police had gathered pointed towards this was a violent assault, then why weren't the charges laid then?
Right.
So it took the girl dying to lay those charges. And that is sad. That's really, really sad.
Well,
If she
I
had
see
not,
your point. I see your point.
if she had not died, this is going like this, nobody business.
Curly Chingaling says this is just ridiculous. Who was in charge of this investigation? Negligence should be brought to said individuals at the department. Is it that though?
Look, when it comes,
I mean, look, we sometimes in a rush to throw the police under the bus. We're sometimes in a rush to throw the prosecution under the bus.
if it's an investigative problem,
We live in a political world.
as in no investigations was done, I could tell about the investigating thing. But I'm just saying that to say this should not have been the case with this young lady.
Raquel says all laws are illegal. Justice for Aaliyah.
This is crazy.
Bling Bling Heavyweight says, well, I think it's best you all get a legal mind to clear that up for the general public.
But you're doing this doing the illegal mind. This is too clear cut.
Karen Ann says, somebody knows somebody in high places. Possible.
Could be. The easiest thing does be to say, right? Get a legal mind, which you could be right with that, right? But something like this, you don't need a legal mind to explain to you. You need somebody to explain why in 2024
What has changed?
what has changed. That's what you need somebody to explain.
We know two things for sure have changed. The government's changed.
One,
And the victim died.
two. What else?
The victim dying, though, should, from a legal standpoint, does that change the? You would just upgrade, right? You would go from.
Well, it wouldn't. Not in this case, but
Well, you wouldn't,
Regularly.
but unregularly, it'd be just be upgraded to either manslaughter or murder, right?
right.
This is brother, man.
So what has changed?
I don't know.
That's the question.
That's the question. They're gonna do some.
Will we get an answer?
No. They're gonna do some commercials and come
We
back.
should do that, right?
We should.
The minister, maybe the attorney general's office needs to come and.
Somebody need to say something, man. This is somebody's child.
Yeah.
It's a life.
You can't. You see. One of the criticisms under the previous government is that we never got any answers to anything.
Is it going to be the same
It
thing?
was
now?
it was like a need to know basis. If they felt you needed to know, they would tell you. If they felt you didn't need to know, then
Right.
surely we should be expecting from a new government. We want somebody come and explain this to us.
They're gonna